Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Dialogues from Facebook. We are joined by a very special group of very proud young Indian Navy women who have just finished 8 months of circumnavigating the globe and back here on land just 24 hours ago. The crew of INSV Tarini is with me on this Facebook Live session on Dialogues, and if you haven't seen them so far, then you're really missing out on their very, very thrilling and exciting journey. And I'll start by asking Skipper Vartika, who led the delegation in some ways, what triggered this? At this time of your careers, people would want to do something normal, something fun. What made you go into the water for the last 8 months?
The main reason for me to join the Navy was my curiosity about the oceans. I belong to a landlocked place. I'm from the mountains of Uttarakhand, and I had never even seen the oceans before I joined the Navy. So I was very curious about it, and I wanted to see how it is like to go and venture out in the oceans. And luckily, after I joined the Navy, the forces came up with the idea of circumnavigating the globe. I quickly grabbed the opportunity and I went about pursuing it further.
Did that trigger the journey? Did you all come together because the forces had that mandate? But something must have kicked it off in your mind, in the mind of the naval forces to look at and have women do it.
Yeah, the expedition is the brainchild of retired Vice Admiral Manohar Avati, who had been pushing the idea right since the time he was in the forces. So the Navy finally accepted the idea, and for the first time in 2009, Captain Dilip Donde, retired now from the Navy, he undertook the first solo circumnavigation of the globe on board Madhei, which is the sister vessel of Tarini. And the second circumnavigation was held in 2013, when Commander Abhilash Tommy did it solo non-stop. So the Navy raised the bar that way. And
but 6 women coming together?
You can take it in writing that this is the most curious lot that wanted to do something crazy in life. And when they asked for volunteers, initially 3 of us volunteered, and then later on Navy again asked for volunteers, and then the 6 out of almost 17 officers, 6 of us came across this.
So you said this is the most curious bunch of 6 women you will ever find. My question is, what was that curiosity about being in the water for 8 months? And now what have you come back with? Has it satisfied your curiosity? Are you a different person? What has changed for you?
Sea teaches you a lot of things. The first and foremost thing that sea teaches you is patience, because it's a sailboat. So unless until there is wind, you can't move. And you've been waiting for days and days for the wind to blow. And at the same time, some days you don't want the wind, which is blowing like 35, 40 knots, like a mini cyclone coming over you, and you're spending your whole night awake and not sleeping. So apart from patience, of course, you learn to be more humble, because if you feel yourself great in that particular moment that I'm sitting outside, there is nothing, the sky is clear and I'm just moving, one slap, one big wave, and it will give you a slap that you will come to the ground and realize, oh my God, I'm here, I'm not on land. So it will never let you guard down, and you have to be cautious every time, no matter you're sleeping, doing anything. But any one sound, creepy sound, it will...
So that was my next question. So what kind of experience, and Pratibha, if I may ask you, one of them would be listening to the skipper or listening to your team leader, the concept of team effort, because nothing is possible doing individually. For you, what was the most exciting part of this journey?
See, the sailing per se, it is a mix of, as our mentor used to say, the mix of excitement and boredom both. So there are many days when you are so close to nature, and we have been ventured into the most untouched part of the world. So you get to see altogether a different personality of the nature, altogether different things. Like we were lucky enough to witness the southern lights, which is Aurora Australis, and we have seen bioluminescence, and it's so difficult to capture those moments even with the finest of the cameras, and we have seen such a huge diversity of marine life. So these all small little things, but out at sea, when you see them actually in wild and actually in their natural habitat, those kind of things are small but really very interesting.
So going on from there, I understand the fun part. I'm going to come to the fun part. I'm sure you guys sat outside and sang as well. I'm sure there was some element of that, hoping that all went on Facebook. But Aishwarya, tell me, there must have been some near-death experiences, some time when you felt, why are we here? And what then drove you to say, okay, you know what, we need to finish this, we need to go back and make our country proud, make our naval forces proud?
So when we were going down south from Littleton, it was the third leg of our voyage. We were going from Littleton to Falkland Islands, and it's like as you keep going down south, it keeps getting colder. So being all of us being from tropical regions, it's not very easy to get used to such weather. So it was getting freezing cold, and out there we had no option but add more and more layers of clothing on us, and and during that situation we had a storm come our way, and we thought we'll dodge it, but we almost got into the tail of the storm, and it lasted for about 20 hours. So that, and there was this one huge wave in the evening, like half of us were inside and half were outside taking care of the boat, and setting down things. Like we knew the weather is going to be rough, so we were like putting things inside, make sure that no loose item comes falling on someone. And there was this one huge wave that came crashing, and just I saw Payal, she was sitting on the navigation table, and she flew from there to the bunk. She banged her head to it and fell, and probably that moment I thought that was the near-death experience
People
For
those who are
everyone.
outside,
I thought.
we have something called a chest
And the
harness.
water came splashing, and the cockpit area where we usually sit to take watch of the boat, it was filled with water. I saw two people floating there, one person crawling towards the wheel, and Vartika ma'am, who was supposed to be on wheel, was nowhere to be seen. So it was
Scary.
it was quite
To
scary.
say the least. And
yes.
Payal is right here. I mean, she's smiling right now,
Yeah.
but she got flung by the
Yeah,
sea.
the moment I saw her,
I
I
was
I the
She
water
was-
for
Oh, you
a
thought you
long
lost the
time.
skipper?
Because she
I'm
was
glad
wearing
she's
a
around.
chest harness,
And
then
after this incident happened, I went running to her first to see if she's all right.
Right.
And then when I glanced outside, I saw Vartika ma'am emerging from water from one corner of the boat. And then I was like, okay,
I actually saw stars that moment for 5 minutes. It was blackout.
So the
for
true
me.
saying that Tare Nazar Aaye.
Sahi mein taare nazar aaye, because it was all blackout for me for 5 minutes, because it was like so hard, bang on the head.
But tell me what happened. So you experienced that. There's no hospital. There's no medical help except for these 6. And I'm sure none of you are doctors, but medically trained. What went through your mind? Why am I here? What am I doing? What am I telling a billion Indians back home now?
But that was the motivation. I wanted to experience that. That's why I volunteered it. Whenever you think of Navy, the first thing that comes to your mind is ocean. And being a naval officer, as an education officer, I would never get chance to go out and explore ocean, because my job is and duty is to train the new cadets and sailors which are coming in and joining Navy.
You want to inspire them.
When I got this opportunity, I was the first one to just grab it and go after it, because this was the best thing I could do in my life.
When you ask me why am I here, I'm sure each one of us must have had that situation in mind, but we are not letting you know, or letting any one of us know. When you have that situation, I had such situations, and I mean, I'm being very honest. And that time I said, wait for that one particular day when you arrive at Goa, and then we see the thousands of people and the entire country waiting for you. That is the day you'll get your answer. Why are you there at
Absolutely.
that situation?
And it's a matter of pride for us to sit right next to you and listen to these experiences, scary experiences.
And I
but
think I got my answer.
And we did too. So thank you so much for being here. But I have to ask Vijaya Devi, everybody here has this affinity of water. You come from Manipur, far away in that sense. But what now comes to your mind, having gone through those 8 months, now back on land? What is it that is going to inspire you further?
Before I joined the Navy, I used to have water phobia. Like when I enter a river which the depth is almost to my knee, I used to have like dizziness. I didn't know how to swim. I joined the Navy. Then afterward, during my training time only, I have started learning swimming, and I loved it. And after that, regularly, and now I'm a good swimmer. So that's how.
I need to talk to you after this. Anyway.
So that's how I came. And then after I learned swimming, then I thought that being in a Navy, like if I can not venture out at sea, like then I felt that it's kind of emptiness. I'm just doing a desk job. So even I'm from the education branch.
Right.
I was in Indian Naval Academy for training the future naval officers. So there only I picked up sailing, and the OIC then Captain Atul Sinha. He was like he motivated me with his stories and the way he used to do racing and all. He had participated in Asian Games.
Right.
So that's how, and I got motivated. And there was a course mate of mine who was more into sailing more than me. So he used to come there, and because of them, I picked up sailing as a hobby. And finally, when I got to know the formation of the team, I just jumped into.
And look at yourself, and now you're world record holders. But tell me, Skipper, Vartika, you went into the water, everybody thought you were gone, and now you're back
Even
here.
she thought.
Even you felt you were gone?
Actually,
Even
at
she
that
was
point of
thinking
time-
that she fell off the boat.
For the time,
And you know,
harness.
and
Right.
the weather at sea was in
Quite
such a way that if a person has fallen off the boat, it's really difficult to locate and recover
So
in that
what made you
circumstances.
climb back? Of course, survival.
no, I wasn't out of the boat, but for the period of time the wave was on top of us, I wouldn't know. I was not able to know whether I was inside the water, out of the boat, inside the water, or was I still on the boat?
And what was
I was
going on
still
in your-
holding on to something.
But apart from survival, what else was going on in your mind?
I was just thinking that if in case I'm out of the water, then why is my life jacket not activated?
It just happened in such a way that
It's like a tons of water. The wave is like with tons of water on the boat, and
Right.
then it drained with the.
She was harnessed, so
Right.
I was tethered on
You
the
were
boat.
tethered onto the boat,
Yes,
yeah, right.
yes.
Interesting. So I'm sure you have many more stories, and I'm sure the Prime Minister was right in asking you whether you will write a book. I have a different question, and Swathi, let me ask you. I mean, there is also a mission that you're trying to convey on Nari Shakti, women's empowerment, and also inspiring more than 500 million women in India to go out and do more. How do you feel now? Look in front of women and say, you know what, look at me, even you can do it. Does that come across you?
Well, you know what? We are in a very practical world. People are interested in knowing if something has been already done. They want to seek information from which has already been done. Like, we are not proving anything to anybody, but we have done something that, just to give an example, that if this can be done, anything can be done in that manner. So it is just that this is one of the examples that we are trying to contribute towards the government, which is trying to prove that women can do anything. So it's like it's like a request from all the 6 of us that come out of your comfort zone, and whatever you want to dream, whatever you want to do, just try and attempt it at least, and rest will.
So get out of your comfort zone. You said a very interesting thing. Getting out of a comfort zone is not something a lot of people like.
Because we're worried that whether we'll be able to do or not, because the whole world is questioning you that the girls cannot do, and they've already fed something in your minds just by continuously chatting around you. So I think that
I like what you say, but you also see instances around you where women are subjected to exploitation, they're not treated as equals. And let me ask you, Pratibha, you have young sisters, young kids in the family. What will it be so different when you go back to them and talk to them?
See, these kind of incidents are quite unfortunate for anyone. But we have to understand that as and when the country grows, and these are kind of the things that we can contribute, we as women can contribute towards, so that not that to prove it to the other gender, but just to show ourselves and our parents so that they realize that women are not just very fragile, they are not something that they need to take care of, they are very well equipped to take care of themselves. And being an Indian, so there is a tendency that your life decisions are mainly derived by your parents, and the parents have the tendency to tell you that you are a woman and you are a girl, so maybe you will not be able to lift a heavy load, or maybe you will not be able to go out at night or by yourself. So, and these kind of things are not just taught to the girls, but at the same time, the boy of the house will also come to, will have that thing in his mind, she's a girl, she cannot go out. If she is going out alone, then she's
Something
not
wrong will
safe.
happen. Yeah.
So this kind of mentality will go with these kind of things. When we do such things, when we show them that no, we have done this, we can venture out at sea for 8 months without any assistance, then we can very well go out at night also.
Fantastic. I mean, and I'm sure that itself is a inspiring story going forward. Aishwarya, one quick input from you on this. Seeing the same people over a 15-meter piece of wood or the vessel, what goes on in your head? I mean, you learn how to tolerate each other, deal with each other, but also learn from each other. And that's also a message going out to lots of people that you have to imbibe lessons from who you see around and not just see, oh, when am I going to get rid of them?
So, you know that whether you are at workplace or at home, it's like you're with them only for a particular period of time, like 8 hours a day at work, and then you have your own life to go back to. For us out there at sea, 6 of us were with each other 24 hours a day. So it's like we know if one other person is snoring in sleep, or you know, every little thing, I know if someone's hungry, they act really cranky. So you know, such things you get to know when you're spending time with the other person for a very long time. So these are some certain human emotions that we observed about each other when we were together. And differences of opinion and you know having a little fight and all, it's inevitable. But coming over it is what has brought a team together, and all of us doing this as a team is what is the essence of this voyage.
Right. Skipper,
I would like to add, getting bored with each other, we don't get bored with parents or home with siblings.
Right.
So it's like a family in the boat. So you should not get bored.
And that's a huge message going out to young people watching this. And Skipper, I have to ask you this question. I heard very strong views from this side saying, if women can do this, if we can do this, anything can be done by women. And that should be the message going out. You're the leader. You will be seen as an icon. All of you are. What is your message, especially not just on women empowerment, but also to tell the rest of the 600 million, the men, the boys, look, better change now or it's too late?
My message is only, it's not just focusing on women or just the boys. It is for everybody. And, you know, when you have achieved something and 8 months we have been away, and whatever has changed in the nation since then, you come back, the nation is still the same. And you keep seeing bad things happening all around you. And you want them to change, but you're still not able to. So what is it that's going in our mind is, I would put it this way, that you can't expect anybody to change overnight. And in a country like India, where, you know, if somebody is doing a bad thing in the country, everybody of his or her age, everybody is playing a role in that in that action. Everybody, each one of us in the country, in the nation, has a role to play, a small contribution to it. If you're not standing up to it, then in a way, we are not doing justice.
And if they hear you, there are 1.3 billion people who can make that change as we go along.
Yes,
that's
so
a message.
It lies on every single person. If you have to stand up to it, and you have to say that. I'm not saying that you just stand up and you do things like and you get into action, start beating people and say that no,
well, something
don't
positive.
do that. But what I want to say is that the action will start with every family, with every individual improvising on his or her own self. Only then, with small little actions on
Will the
individual
nation
part, will it change.
Let me get to Payal and Vijaya to ask you the non-serious stuff. So tell me, what was the favorite song of the crew?
I like this question.
Sorry?
I like this question.
You like this question? Or maybe you were the singer, that's why. So tell us, what was...
I was not the singer. Singer is just right next to me.
Oh, very
and
good.
I used to curse her because she doesn't let us sleep.
Or she would sing in your sleep as well.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
No, she's
when
on the
when
watch,
we
then
are
she can't-
sleeping,
she'll start a radio.
Like I would
She's
say
on a
that
watch
like
and
when
she's sitting outside on the wheel, Vijay is
Doesn't
singing
matter
at
even if
high
it's
pitch.
12 at night, she will
Right.
sing.
she will sing.
So, Vijay, you know, we're not going to let you go without singing. But tell me, what was the funniest moment for all of you? The one moment, the light moment, the heaviest moment.
The New Year bash.
Oh, you
New
had a
Year
bash
bash,
as well.
yeah.
You
Wow.
must see
So
the
tell me.
video. You will go crazy by
I
looking
hope it is
at
on
the
Facebook.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah, it's on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Did you guys do Facebook Live? Anybody?
Yeah, we did. We did a lot of Facebook lives. I mean,
When
only
the
when
dolphins
the
were
internet was
around at that
quite.
point of time, we did.
Uh-huh.
So we were actually on the wheel. It was stormy weather, and then we said, why the entire world is having a bash on New Year,
Celebrating.
and why not we? So we turned on the music. That was what, No Lie. And then we were wearing 8 layered
Vaseline
clothes,
ball.
and then we were on the deck, hooked on to the deck, and then we
Wearing
started
monkey
dancing
caps.
on it. And yeah, you could only see the eyes,
I would
nothing
love to
else.
see some pictures of that.
Yeah, we'll show you the video. In fact, I
Posted
mean,
the
it's
video and
crazy.
said, you know, identify who's the
Yeah,
person
the
who's
Tarini crew on the dance floor.
So, Vijay Devi, the head singer or the lead singer of Tarini, please tell us, what was that one song which you used to entertain all of them?
Like especially when most of the time when Vartika ma'am and I be on watch, like we both are the one who used to sing all the time.
Now you have
like,
to sing. So tell me, what is that song?
We are
Sing
not
for us.
sleeping, please.
No, no, that's okay. Tell us.
And like I love the song "Traveling Soldier"
Okay.
by Dixie Chicks. That is one particular song which I keep on humming, and same time Miley Cyrus, Climb, and many more songs. I can just
Sing
quote
one line.
Okay, I'll go for a Traveling Soldier. I hope others can also accompany me
I
because
don't know the
they
lyrics.
also love the song.
So you're the lead singer, the skipper is allowed, so go ahead.
Go for it.
3, 2, 1, go.
2 days past 18, he was sitting for his bus in his army green, sat down in a cafe there, gave his order to a girl with a bow and a hat. He's a little shy, so she gave him a smile and he said, would you mind sitting down for a while and talking to me? I'm getting
Fantastic, but this is
nervous.
great. I mean, I'm sure they had a fantastic 8 months listening to your, and I'm sure your singing has improved as
She
well.
is the nightingale of Tarini.
Actually, I'm getting nervous and
Don't worry.
I'm
No, you were absolutely
confused
fine.
with the
All right,
lyrics.
so we need to wrap this up, and this has been a great experience for me learning from all of you and also getting inspired. I need to learn sewing, so I'm declaring on Facebook Live that I don't know how to, but I will learn now. Very quick wrap. Let me start by asking you, do you think life will change for you after this?
Definitely, because the experience from sailing which I have gained, I will continue to sail after this also, and I will continue to motivate more and more kids and younger people to take up ocean sailing.
Vijay Devi, you come from the Northeast. A lot of effort by the Prime Minister also to integrate more and more youth to come into the mainstream. Do you want to inspire more people to come into the armed forces? Is that a good experience for you?
Yes, it has been a wonderful experience for me being in the Navy, and I love being in the Navy. And I think, yes, people, the youths of the region should also come and join it. I would love to suggest them that the life here is amazing. It's adventurous, full of.
Well, I can see that. I can see that. I'll come to the skipper last, but Aishwarya, in your sense, going forward, what is the next big challenge now? 8 months into the water, I hope it is not more than that, again.
I think the next challenge will be, so for past 3 years for us, all 6 of us, it has been we are back on land and we are thinking, okay, next we are going on another expedition. So it's, I think for me it will be hard to accept the fact that, I will just be thinking when I'm going to see next.
Oh my God. All right, we'll prepare for our next
yeah.
interview, so we'll definitely do that. So you want to go back into the water again?
I think
good.
Sure,
we start
definitely. That will
missing
be
on,
nice.
already, because the life out there is quite peaceful and calm, and it's quite serious.
Thanks for making us feel so good. Pratibha, I mean, what's your next big challenge?
I really don't know as of yet, but definitely I would love to continue sailing, because doesn't matter what happens out there, and you really wish that you will never ever come back to this water again. But when you are once back at the shores, so then you start missing those water, the time that you have spent there, and you get to learn a lot of life lessons out there. You learn a lot of humanity. You get to learn that how small you are. A lot of lessons you learn, and then it's always fun to be at.
And I'm sure you
out at
made friends
sea.
with some water,
Yeah, a
some
lot of
waves.
them.
I'll just add one more thing to that.
Sure.
So it's because we are on sea, off land, something like that. We all call ourselves amphibians because half the time we are on sea and half on land.
That should
we even
inspire a lot of people.
nicknamed each other after a lot of amphibians.
You want to share the secret names?
I'm alligator. She's crocodile.
Okay.
Okay.
Swati?
SWAT cat. She's SWAT cat.
What's that?
It's
That's
not
what
really come out.
But okay, I'll come to the others. But you tell me, I mean, what next for you? What is it going to drive you from here on?
Well, I'm afraid the qualities that I've developed for the last so many years of service, and in fact, in sailing, I don't want those qualities to fade away in the crazy world we've come back to. So I would like to work upon those qualities and continue to remain with me throughout the rest of my life for my own good.
Right. So you want it to be a lifelong lesson for yourself.
Yeah, I want to keep those qualities inside me. Doesn't fade away with this crazy world around me.
Crazy world. Yes, it is. Skipper, last word from you. How big can it get beyond this? What bigger challenges? What bigger lessons? Is anything left? I'm sure this is just the start of the
So they say
journey.
that sky is the limit. I would say oceans are the limit. Oceans is the limit. So there is only improving from here, and there is only going forward from here. And what we have done, it remains with us as of now. And hopefully it can inspire. That was the main idea even when we started. It can inspire the generations to follow. So hopefully that will happen over a period of time, gradually. For me personally, I'm not yet sure what lies ahead of me. I've always been working one step at a time, and I never thought about, I never worked in a futuristic fashion.
Right.
So as of now, I am here.
Fantastic,
that
and we are
is-
very proud
That
to.
is all for me.
We are very proud to host you to the very, very fantastic crew of INSV Tarini. Thanks so much for coming to our office and sharing this session with us. It's been a privilege to have you on Dialogues from Facebook. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.